was. I had one of my advisees. I'm a homeroom teacher too. I'm like, really, dude, you got cut from the fencing team? Man, we gotta work on you here, pal. Baylor Swimming 101. This is an idea I stole from Auburn, but it's kind of like life and how to live it. You know, this is our rules. And it's something that we put up, and I'm actually working on tweaking some new things to add in and take away. Each year, there's certain things that have to be put in or taken out depending on the kind of personality of the group that we have. But these are rules that apply to everybody. Some of them are big picture things. Some of them relate specifically to how we want you to train. Some of them are as minuscule as, you know, you have to get out of the water like an athlete, you know, and I will make you get back in and get back out like an athlete, okay? You can't drag your bag. Don't let me see you dragging your bag on the pool deck. Do not let me see. Pick your bag up. Take care of your stuff. When we're in our hard training, and not during taper, the Baylor campus is, you're either going up a hill or down a hill. It's a very hilly place. If you're in some of the dorms, it's a bit of a walk from the pool, which is in the front of the campus, to some of the dorms, which are more in the back. Can't get a ride. Don't get a ride. Cannot get a ride. You will get in trouble if you get a ride. Now, during taper, you will get in trouble if you don't get a ride, if somebody's not taking you back, you know? And they're so excited when I'm like, okay, you can get rides now. Hop in your cars and go. But the rules apply to everybody, and that's the only way you can really make a team, okay? And if you start having a set of rules for this and a set of rules for that, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You're not going to maximize what you're trying to do. And the nice thing is we're allowed to treat swim practice like class, okay? And because some of the kids be like, well, it's just practice. I'm like, and first of all, you're not allowed to say the word just in our program. That's something I really harp on. Because in my mind, just minimalizes things. It's like Coach Marsh's talk, if you heard it earlier. You know, if we're going to do something, that's because it's important. So we never say the word just. But it's nice because if they miss practice and they don't have a legitimate excuse or whatever, it's a detention. And they got to stay in on a Saturday night in a study hall from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and no high school kid wants to do that. So that's a nice thing. We give out, you know, again, if you get a ride up the hill, I will give you an MR, which is a misconduct report, okay? For those, and you have detention. I freely tell the kids, and we go over the rules right from the beginning. I freely tell the kids, look, my goal is to not have to give out one MR this year. That would be awesome. But inevitably, with dealing with, you know, 40 or so high school kids, that doesn't always necessarily work out that way. With the high school team and our main focus being our championship meet, the biggest challenge is in this integrated system is, okay, yes, it's made clear to me that high school swimming is the priority from my headmaster, from my board of directors of the school. Okay, so we approach it that way. But there's also this thing called United States Swimming that's really cool too, and really important, and we want to be an active and vibrant participant in it. It was odd to me, but I almost, after my second year at Baylor, I kind of had to justify, because the business manager was like, hey, why do we even have this club team anyway? Can't we just do our high school thing? And I'm like, no, not if we want the high school team to be as good as it could possibly be. And once I really was able to show them the importance of it, and through our staff's hard work, start to really show the profitability of it, they like the swim club a whole lot more now. But that's the biggest challenge in getting the kids to swim fast at their high school meet, but then also go back and whatever their focus is for that season, whatever focus it is for that year, to get them to swim really fast at that next competition. Because I'm always getting somebody ready for a meet. One of my big things is, so when's your big meet? When? Because again, I have students from literally all over the world on my team. And it's rare where another country runs on our schedule, okay? They have, there was one year, it was like almost a color-coded chart I had of all the different meets that the different kids were going to. We have quite a few kids from the Caribbean. They have a big meet in April, but inevitably they have another 2 or 3. You know, the prime example was how to make their Olympic team. Well, it was different for each of them, or how to make the Pan American Games team, or whatever the case may be. the selection process was different for those kids. And then you got to take care of the U.S. kids as well. So it keeps you on your toes as a coach for sure, but that's the biggest challenge that I find often as a coach. When you're talking about the varsity and the club considerations, we have kids that train with the varsity team that do not go to Baylor. That's something that I struggle with. And basically, I really hold those kids to a high standard. They've really got to be bringing something to the program above and beyond, okay? Because if they don't, they're gone quickly, okay? They're gone quickly. It's much like what Coach Marsh said about his Team Elite. What are you going to be bringing to our program to enhance it? It's not a right just to come up and train with the varsity. You've got to really completely buy into what we're doing. And I almost got rid of it this year because it was becoming, I didn't think the kids were, and their parents were appreciative enough or holding up their end of the bargain on it. But we do have kids. I had a boy win our high school state championship a couple years ago in the 100 freestyle, swimming for another high school team. He beat all my boys who were in the heat. You know, that's just the way it goes. We all get back together once the high school season is over and train and compete under the flag of the Baylor Swim Club. Both our varsity team and club team have contracts with Nike, so we're outfitted very similar. It's really nice now that we finally, from our age groupers all the way up, we actually kind of look like a team instead of just a mishmash of some kids wearing Speedo and some kids wearing tier and some kids wearing polka dotted stuff. You know, we actually kind of look like a team now. And what one of my goals and what I'm really trying to work on now is the Baylor School brand. Now it's nice in the swimming community it's nice now that people don't ask if we're from Waco, Texas, because I used to get that all the time when I first started, you know, with Baylor University. It's nice that people know the name. Now I'm really trying to work on the branding of our name. So those considerations are now when we do a team shirt, our logo is constant. Our logo is basically what you see at the beginning and the end of these PowerPoints. It's a consistent message. Our caps are consistent. We're really trying to make it so that when we walk onto a pool deck, you know exactly who we are, where we're from, and what we're about. Because ultimately, they didn't. The board of directors did not build a $7 million pool to get less kids into the school. Okay, they look at it as an opportunity to enhance and get people to come to the school, and the swim club, fills the same role. When the club gets grant money from United States Swimming, it's shared throughout, whether it's with the varsity, with the younger kids, and we really try and each year go and identify one real thing that we need to enhance all of our programs. One year we got videotaping equipment. One year we bought power towers. One year we bought additional flooring for our swimming lesson program. So because right now what we had was our swimming lessons, kids would be in the endless pool, and then they go into this big 10-lane, 50-meter pool that's colder, and it's 8 feet deep, it's 8 feet deep down to 1 million feet deep, and it looks like kind of the ocean to them. It's very intimidating, and we needed that kind of middle step for them to progress on. So and this year, I said, hey, it's clear to me that if you're not awesome at underwater swimming and underwater kicking, then you're going to get beat by people who've made that commitment. So we're taking our grant money this year and buying 30-some-odd monofins to be used throughout the program because I want our team to be doing that clear skill that's clearly important now. I want that to be taught from the youngest ages on up. I made that a real priority with our coaching staff. Our basic kind of philosophy is this. And it's kind of reversed here. But when you're little, I want you to love the sport and have fun, and I want you to be a kid when you're little. Because as you get older, the demands become more and more and more. And then if you commit and really make the full commitment, well, your happy little butt's mine, you know, and that's the way it goes. And it's not just the swimmer, it's in tune the family, because it's a big commitment. So our basic philosophy, senior group-wise and varsity-wise, is this. It's a small group that trains with the varsity kids, like I talked about. We offer 9 practices a week. Not all kids do 9. Some are, you know, high-level, you know, national-level swimmers. I think 9 is too much for them, so they don't do that. Some kids, I think they need 9. So they do 9 practices a week. I went over this yesterday, but it's basic. It's a basic Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning practice, 6 o'clock to 7:30. Our school day starts at 8:45, but extra help starts at 8:10. So getting the kids out at 7:30 gives them chance to go to the get changed, go to the dining hall, get something to eat, and be able to be at extra help. Because I don't want to ever have kids coming back and saying, I couldn't go to extra help because of practice, because then Coach Dan gets in trouble, and Coach Dan doesn't want to get in trouble. So we give them that opportunity. We offer and attend all major competitions, and it's a pretty high-level training group. A couple years ago, we were the #1 silver medal team in the country. We've had different kids make our national junior and youth team 4 years now running. And these are all local kids. These aren't boarding kids. They're kids right out of the program. We've done very well at junior nationals in the past. So it's a nice feed from the high school component into the club swimming component. We're in a great spot. We're able to mesh that. I know there are many of you that it's Civil War time club and high school swimming. And I've been in places where that's the way it is. And I just always thought that was really unfortunate, because ultimately we're here for the kids. I mean, I think if you're in this for the right reason, ultimately you're here for the kids. And it's a real drag when the kids get caught in the middle. So we're in a situation where we're able to mesh those quite nicely. The kids that aren't as committed, okay, and just want to get ready for high school swimming, we offer a high school prep group. It's 3 times a week. It starts in the middle of October through whenever our championship meet is for high school swimming. And sometimes those kids decide, hey, I've gotten better at this and I want to make that commitment, and they have the opportunity then to move up into the senior group if their commitment level is enough. Every year it happens that we end up having a kid in the program who had, you know, when they started in the fall, had 0 intention of going to Baylor, but are around the club and enjoy the experience, and they start to do the admissions process, and next thing we know, they're at the school the following year. That happens all the time, and that's one of the nice offshoots of being able to have a swim club like this. Our basic philosophy on our age group program, again, is I freely tell the age group, when I talk to our little kid parents at the beginning of each year, I freely say, hey, if you're looking for little Johnny or little Sally to win a bunch of stuff at this young age, this is not the program for you. Because I freely say, I'm like, I don't care how fast they swim. I really don't. I care that they're being taught right. I care that they're happy, okay? And ideally, as they progress along in the program, I want them to be fresh. I want to have fresh minds, and I want to have fresh bodies. Because I don't know if you experience this, but in my mind, yeah, I think you have about a 3.5 year window coaching high school kids where you've got them, you know, where they'll really, really listen to you. And after that, you know, it's kind of like they are with parents. They to a degree start to tune you out because they've heard it all before, and they've seen all your tricks and heard all your jokes and this and that. I really think that you've got a real window of time where you can really make your hay. So I don't want to use that up too early, okay? There's been times I've been tempted because I've had some really hot shot groups coming up, be like, wow, these kids could be good, but I'm going to let my coaches coach, and bide my time until they come up to my level. So our developmental group, we have 3 levels of it. They they're offered 2 or 3 times a week, and they run in 6-week sessions. So if you want to swim some, then you want to do basketball or music, and then you want to do the play, and then you want to come back to swimming, we allow them that opportunity, okay? And I wholeheartedly encourage people to do other stuff. My philosophy is this, swimming's not for everybody, okay? It's not. But I want you to find whatever your passion is, whatever your niche is, go out and explore and find it. Okay, I never get too bummed out if I lose a student to the arts or to another sport or to something that they're good in. I've had 2 girls in my coaching career that I've had to say to, look, I know you like swimming, but here's the deal: you're a lot better runner. You're pretty darn fast. You need to go. You need to go do cross country. One girl ended up placing like 3rd at NC2As for Texas in cross country, and she was like, no, I want to swim, I want to swim. I'm like, okay, I know you want to swim, but you need to run. You're better at that. When we lose them to the street or video games, then that's what's the unacceptable thing to me. But if they want to do other things, I am more than fine with it. And I also, a lot of this I tie in, and I'll talk about that a little later, to the parents to try and get them to see the future. Our next level is our age group level, and we offer those 5 times a week. You can come 3 to 4. You can come to all of them as one, but we kind of encourage you to come 3 or 4. It's a little bit more committed, but again, still allows opportunities for other activities. These kids practice after the high school season. Yes?
How long time-wise is it? Is it an hour practice, 2 hour practice? Hour and 15 minutes.
For developmental?
Developmental's an hour.
An hour. Our developmental is an hour. This group I'm talking about here, our age group, is like an hour and 15, basically. It allows them to do other things. Oh, our little developmental kids, we really don't have them. If they want to swim in one of our local meets in Chattanooga, they can. They don't have to. But what we do offer is Techno Meets, and is a concept that it might be one of the few things that I haven't ripped off of somebody. Actually, I'm sure other people do this, but I thought of this on my own. One of the very few ideas I haven't ripped off of somebody else. But anyway, our Techno Meets are pretty cool in that we host them. It's for the developmental group. And what the kids are is we don't time it, okay? And it's almost like diving in that you're graded on how you do the skills that we've been working on, not in how fast you do them. Because I'm trying to explain to the parents, again, I don't care how fast they do it. I want them to look pretty in the water, and I want them to be happy. Okay, those are 2 things. Smiling faces, pretty strokes. That's what I want to see. Okay, if it produces a first place, great. If it produces a 50th place, that's fine with me too at that level. So I think those Techno Meets are a pretty neat idea to kind of get the parents thinking too that it's not all about winning. And this is coming from somebody who, if you get to know me, I'm really competitive, and I really I enjoy winning. If I like a team, I really like a team. I'm one of those guys, if my team loses, man, I'm bummed out the next day. But at the young age, I like to allow those flowers to grow. So our competition for our age group, we do local meets, and they compete in our district meet and our LSC championships if they want to. It's not like you have to go to our LSC championship if you're in this group. Now, most of them do, but we don't make it. Our LSC, where we swim in, is a very spread out group. It runs the whole state of Tennessee, which is very long. Okay, it dives into the whole state of Alabama, and it also takes the northern part of Florida. So some of the teams in our LSC have to drive, 8, 9, 10 hours to get to our LSC championship meet. It's a big deal. It's a big time commitment and a financial commitment for the parents. Our next level is our junior group. That's offered 6 times a week. We encourage them to attend 5 to 6. This is where dryland gets introduced. As I talked yesterday, in more of my training type talk, our program, as you progress in it, does a lot of dry land. We do a lot of work outside the pool, probably more than most. I put big value on making the kids better athletes.